Hi there, Josh here. Welcome to Frames Per Second. Once again, I forgot to record an intro, so here we are at the beach. We're doing a swimwear photoshoot with my Pentax K1000 and some Kodak Gold. And I was initially planning for a golden hour sunset kind of shoot, but then it ended up being a very cloudy afternoon out of nowhere, and so things did turn out quite differently than I had planned, but I still think we got some great shots. And so here we are with Talia, who was a fantastic model to work with, and I thought we got some really good stuff. I will say right off the bat, the photos of this kind of shoreline area, you do have to play with the posing a bit more, and so while I do think we got great shots from it, I think I could have been a bit more creative with the posing. But Talia looks great, and she threw in some of her own ideas, and just because of the overcast nature, it did turn out looking a lot more like portrait than Kodak Gold, because it did look more washed out, flatter, and when you usually shoot Kodak Gold, you're expecting the contrast and warmth and punchy colors, and it didn't really turn out that way. But it's something that you can kind of adjust in post or in the scanning if you do it yourself. And so I still think it gave us a great base that we can improve upon. And it does look quite a lot like portrait would. Even though if I did shoot portrait for this shoot, it would have turned out even flatter. But this shot looks great. I love the horizon there. There's good contrast with the black bikini, which was important because it is more of a sparse location. And here you can see we are able to get that more of that Kodak Gold look, adding a bit more of that warmth, a bit more of the contrast, getting a bit more punch out of it. And so here I am trying to add a bit more movement to it. And this is one of the things where, yeah, sometimes it can be tricky figuring out what poses to do and trying not to repeat yourself. And so I do think we got some great shots out of this, but I felt like with these movement ones, I either took the photo too late or too early.
Do it like half that speed, because I might try to get 2 shots out of that. And go.
Which is something you kind of just gotta feel around and play with. But I did kind of want to limit the amount of rolls of film I was shooting for this shoot. But this still looks good. And if you haven't already, I've done a video from this shoot before with my Nikonos shooting some Ilford HP5. And so that stuff we actually get in the water and get things a bit wet and try to get more unique angles from the water. But here we still got some great stuff. I like that shot quite a bit. We'll try to get some more movement here again. Though this shot is out of focus, I thought I'd still edit it because it's kind of a fun vibe. And if you're just looking at it on a small screen, it's not that noticeable how soft it actually is. Yeah, Talia was really nice to work with. She'd always come up with her own ideas in the moment that I could either adjust or take. This was actually just a really nice beach that was really versatile. It wasn't too windy and cold, which was good for her, because that can be a problem when the model is trying to focus on looking like she's in the warm sun when it's freezing. This is another great shot. She's got a great face, great eyes. I think she has more of like a 70s kind of 60s kind of look, which I think kind of sets her apart from other models. But this is the next location, which I felt like we were able to play with posing a bit more because there's a lot more to interact with. Unfortunately, this shot's all out of focus, and so she could interact with this tree. In a minute, you're gonna see her interact with the rock, but here you can also see how I am trying to get more of that Kodak Gold look out of it by warming it up, adding contrast. And now she's jumping in the tree, and so this section I felt like it was a lot more playful, and we're able to like do a bit more because there was stuff to actually interact with. Because I am a big time location shooter compared to a studio, just because I like the environment to feel like it's a part of the image, which of course you can do with a studio. It just takes a lot more time, a lot more money to really art direct something and get that kind of going. While with locations, yeah, you can just see what there is and interact with it. And this beach was really handy because there was a lot of different looking locations on this beach, even more so than we actually used. And so you kind of have like this greenery, this tropical kind of looking area. Then you obviously have the shoreline, which is a lot more sparse, and obviously because of the cloud cover, the ocean itself wasn't as blue as I was hoping. And then there's a third location that we kind of use, which is just pretty much just turning around from where we are here, and it's these kind of orange kind of rocks. And so yeah, I felt like we were able to get a lot of diverse kind of shots.
Yeah, look over your shot at me. Maybe play with your hair with your left.
I think we got quite a few shots that I do like, though there's little things that I need to pay a bit more attention to, like that leaf that's kind of covering her a little bit there. There's a lot of little things like that that I just forget to kind of keep an eye on, that I need to be more aware of. But yeah, like here we're able to move around, interact with the tree in a different way, and I thought that yeah, there was a lot more going on with this location than the previous one, though we still got some great shots from both. And Kodak Gold is just great film, obviously 200 ISO, so it's not too grainy. It's got good color, it's got good punch, which is why it's one of my favorites. I've used it countless times. It's a film I've shot the most, and it's just super reliable and also really cheap. It's at least half the price of Portra, depending on where you get it from. And so it's definitely a film that I recommend, whether you're shooting just for fun or shooting something professional. And here's the last location with these rocks. Unfortunately, the colors just don't come out as much because it was such an overcast day, and the quality of light was just so much flatter than I was hoping for. But it's still a good starting point that we can kind of enhance later in post if that's something you like doing. And so here I forgot to hit record on the GoPro, so it is just a few snippets of BTS footage that my assistant got, and I wish there was a bit more footage, but oh well, can't win all the time. But yeah, I think this looks great. I do like her posing. She was able to come up with quite a few nice ideas as well. And yeah, I do kind of wish we did have a punchier color going, but as you'll see in a few photos time, you'll see the kind of edit I did to kind of give more of that Kodak Gold look. These rocks did bring another kind of thing to interact with, and that kind of aided with changing up the posing. Talia was just a really good model to kind of work with. She came with her own ideas and just didn't expect you to come up with all the poses, which is always really helpful when a model's like that. And yeah, I really like a lot of the images we got from this shoot. But like here you can see I warmed it a lot and kind of got that skin tone kind of popping a bit more as well. Even though I was kind of hoping for a kind of golden hour kind of vibe and whatnot, we still were able to get a lot of good stuff that we could use from this. And here I think I got the most out of the color, which obviously I had to adjust in post, but you can also do that in the scan if you scan yourself. But it still looks great, and it definitely isn't as flat as it would have looked if I was shooting Portra. But I like what we got and thought Talia did a great job. So I hope you like the images, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the camera, about the film, and feel free to like and subscribe, turn this post notifications so you know when there's a new episode. Anyway, I'm Josh. It's been Frames Per Second. Just get out there, shoot some film.